And here we are on Thanksgiving, and what are the media doing today? They're attacking Ivanka Trump. Now, if this were a Democrat administration, Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, their spouses and whomever, they'd all be treated like Camelot, like the Kennedys. Ivanka Trump is an extraordinary young lady. Extraordinary. She's an extraordinary businesswoman. She's an extraordinary daughter, very loyal to her father. She's got a lot of poise, and yet they try to destroy her. You've got low-life fools like Scarborough with his low-life fool girlfriend, eventually wife, Mika Brzezinski, who just mocked this family. They would never do it to a child of a Democrat president, and never have. Nobody ever took on the daughters of the Obamas. There was reason to take them on. Some of them behaved poorly, partying pictures and so forth. But people know better than to do that. But when it comes to the Trump children, they want to imprison them. If they have a setback in business or something, they celebrate it. The left is very, very sick, and they're getting worse. And by that I include the media. Now, Ivanka Trump apparently used her private email a few hundred times, as I understand it, to do government business. And of course, for the Democrats, this is equivalent to Hillary Clinton. But you really do have to have a negative IQ to draw that conclusion. And I'll explain why. Ivanka Trump did not go out of her way to create a private server. Ivanka Trump didn't start deleting emails that she was concerned might become public. And Ivanka Trump didn't have a whole bunch of classified emails either. The few hundred emails, not over the course of years, but over the course of, weeks and months? And she wasn't out there trying to deceive people. She didn't act stupid when it was determined that she was using private emails for government business at a very limited level at that. What do? Wipe them like with a cloth? Yet the left celebrates Hillary Clinton as a modern feminist. Hillary Clinton is an old-time hack. She's never been a feminist. She's held onto her husband's coattails from day one and attacked women who her husband attacked. That's not a modern feminist. And if by feminist we mean a strong woman, a strong mother, a strong wife, intelligent, so forth and so on, then conservative women are feminists. If, on the other hand, you mean bra-burning, crazy radical kooks who don't shampoo and all that, that's their side. But Ivanka Trump is far more positive example of a woman than Hillary Clinton could ever be. Ever. Ever. She's classier. She's smarter. She's more attractive. And she's more family-oriented. That's right, I said it. I said it, and I mean it. And her husband's loyal to her, too. What about that? Yes, yes, yes. And since they bring up Ivanka Trump, she's a very religious person. She pursued her religion. She didn't just convert to Judaism, she converted to Orthodox Judaism. What is Hillary Clinton's faith? I don't even know. Well, she doesn't wear it on her sleeve. It has nothing to do with wearing it on her sleeve. She's not really into it, I don't believe. Now, when Hillary Clinton was working for her husband in the White House, she almost destroyed our healthcare system. So repugnant was she, and so repulsive was her little project, that it was rejected by the American people thoroughly and completely. Because we don't like police state health care. She had set up a system with 1,000 of her favorite friends, radical kooks and lobbyists, that would have prevented you from even buying private health care, or there ever being private health care. And it cost the Democrats 54 seats in the House and 8 Senate seats. Nobody ever mentions that. Wherever Hillary goes, she creates chaos. Wherever Hillary goes, there's destruction. Because she's a left-wing kook, may I say, with all due respect. And she always has been a left-wing kook. Now, when she was a little younger than Ivanka, back in the day, her hero, who she sought out, was Saul Alinsky. Saul Alinsky, a Marxist out of Chicago. Hillary, a Marxist out of Illinois. She wanted to meet Saul Alinsky, and she met him once or twice. She was smitten by his genius and his ideology. And she has perpetuated that poison ever since. What exactly has Hillary Clinton contributed to society? I mean this in all honesty. As First Lady, as Secretary of State, before that as a senator, as a candidate. What exactly? All these years in the public eye. Damn little. Damn little. So what Hillary Clinton does with purpose of forethought and connivance, and what Ivanka does as an innocent error, for the Democrats, that's equivalent. Because the leading Democrats in their party have no soul. They have no moral guidepost. They're out of control. See, here's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Democrats will do anything to advance their agenda. They don't worry about ethics, morality, the rule of law, the Constitution. They will walk on broken glass, one behind the other. But Republicans are a different type of animal. And some of them are truly ignoramuses. And that would be Trey Gowdy. Many of you have liked Trey Gowdy. I've never liked him. I have a rule. If you comb your hair 15 different ways in 4 days, I don't trust you. If you can't decide whether you can grow a beard or not, I don't trust you. But in all seriousness, this guy's full of hot air. Has he ever held anybody accountable for anything? Like Hillary Clinton and her emails. And John Boehner appointed him to chair this special committee on Benghazi because he's a Boehner boy. So he gets out there, and he, of course, he defends the senior levels of the FBI. I'm not talking about the rank and file. We all defend them. They put their lives on the line. So Trey Gowdy, Politico's reporting, is demanding information from the administration on Ivanka Trump's use of personal email. And he wants it by December 5th. Now, this guy has retired. He's about to go out the door. So he's laying the foundation for the Democrats to go after Trump's daughter because, you know, we're consistent here. We're consistent here. Just because it's a Republican doesn't mean, and by the way, did I tell you I'm a former federal prosecutor? That's true. And we're consistent here. We follow the law no matter what. So he doesn't see the distinction whatsoever. Honestly, I've never found him to be that bright. I just haven't. He's not that smart. He wants to run for the Senate or governor in South Carolina. You watch. All these guys are egomaniacal, constantly trying to claw their way up. And I can use a little positive press, too. I'm Trey Gowdy, after all. So he writes this long letter. It's got footnotes in it. It's very lawyerly, like. Very impressive as he goes after the president's daughter. Very, very impressive. The Democrats don't want to know about Hillary's emails, her server. They don't want to know anything. It's a Republican witch hunt. Trey Gowdy. And this is why we don't have a wall. Many of the Republicans who lost were trying to show CNN and MSNBC and Maggie Haberman writing for the Holocaust-denying New York Times. All the journalist school graduates want to work for the New York Times. Anyway, so they all try to kowtow. And the best way to I'll give you an example. And I've said this before. Early on, before I really trashed so many of these phony fraud reporters, many of whom were Democrat staffers, and, I'm a reporter defending the free press. And they worked for Harkin, and they worked for Tip O'Neill, and they worked for Carter, and they worked for Obama. I'm defending the free press. And Ben Rhodes lies through his teeth. The press says, I think he's lying through his teeth, but let's go with it. But, I'm defending the free press. Or Jake Tapper. Anyway, you know the list. They kowtow to these people. They want to be liked. And in the end, of course, the media hate them too. They really want true believers on the left. And why not get behind a true believer like Maxine Waters rather than Trey Gowdy? Maxine is just a genius stateswoman, I would say. Anyway, so Trey Gowdy's out there, and I'm sure it'll be Trey, would you come on our TV program? Anyway, when I had not a relationship with these people that meet the depressed, or Good Morning Soviet Union, or whatever you want to call these shows, they would invite me on when I was highly critical of Republicans. Remember that, Mr. Producer? When I was pounding Boehner because he deserved it, I'm starting to wonder if Boehner was smoking pot while he was speaker. Cannabis? Shut up, you idiot. And Mitch McConnell out there, we're the best budget prop. And meanwhile, the debt is soaring under Mitch McConnell. But don't tell the Weekly Standard and Fred Barnes. They love this. How much he's accomplished. It's unbelievable. He got judges passed. No, Harry Reid paved the path for our judges to get passed. That moron in Nevada. My eye. I hurt my eye because I was exercising. Yeah, Harry. That's how you hurt your elbow. Or your knee. Or your ankle. How'd you hurt your eye? Well, I was pulling the rubber thing and it hit me in the eye. Yeah, okay, Harry. I think Harry was walking in the doors a long time ago. So McConnell gets credit. But this crushing debt that the Republicans have laid on top of crushing debt from Obama and the Democrats, look how well we're working together. And we passed the bill before any... shut up. I didn't lose my place. So Trey Gowdy, he gets conservative media. Oh, this Trey Gowdy, he's special. In the liberal media, this Trey Gowdy, he's special. Trey Gowdy is the Stormy Daniels of the House of Representatives. May I say that, Mr. Producer? He really is. He started lashing out, Yes, the conservative media complex that makes money off of criticizing people like me. I don't make money off of criticizing people like you. Nobody even knows who the hell you are, to be perfectly... You go down into a local diner. You know who Trey Gowdy is? Is that a dancer? No, he's not a dancer. LGBT... No. Who's Trey Gowdy? I don't know. Anyway, Trey Gowdy is on the job here over the holiday. He's going after Ivanka Trump and her emails, you see. I'm going to get to the bottom. I couldn't get to the bottom of Benghazi. I couldn't get to the bottom of the FBI scandal because, of course, the senior level of the FBI is swell. No, that's not a spy. It's an informant. You can't call them spies. And Trey Gowdy couldn't get to the bottom of Hillary Clinton's email. But by God, he's going to get this Ivanka Trump thing figured out. Because we know she's an incredible threat to the... That Trey Gowdy, nothing gets past him. He is just terrific. That Trey Gowdy. The Helen Keller of the Judiciary Committee. Oh, don't worry. He'll take care of it. Don't worry. And he'll give a hell of a speech on the House floor, too. Nobody gives better speeches and does nothing about it than Trey Gowdy. I have to give him credit. And what's going on in South Carolina? Do they breed people like this? Lindsey. I've gotten to know Lindsey very, very little. I mean, I bump into him now and then. We've tried to get him on the program to discuss things. He only goes on Fox. He won't come on this program. Well, maybe in 3 weeks. Okay, we'll take a pass. It's not that exciting. But he's hard to read, the guy. That's because he's independent. No, it's because he's hard to read. It's like this Saudi Arabia thing. He's toxic, the crown prince. Lindsey, take a look at the United Nations. It's filled with genocidal maniacs. Are you proposing we get out of the United Nations? I proposed that. Many, many years ago, I have proposed that we create a new organization. Why must we stay with the United Nations? An organization of free countries, or at least relatively free countries. Why are we sitting with genocidal maniacs? Yeah, they have Tourette's as a group. Get the Jews, get the Jews, get the Jews, get the Jews. A resolution. Make sure you get the Jews and the Jews. Don't forget the Jews and the Jews. And they all vote yes, except for us. No, except when Obama at the end. I think we're present. So how come he hasn't introduced a bill to get out of there? They're killing journalists left and right. The member states of the UN. And try to be a reporter in China. Or as we like to say, China. Try to be a reporter in China. Try to be a reporter in Russia. Try to be a reporter who left Russia and went to London. And all of a sudden, well, look at this. Look at this. Nuclear refuse in my spaghetti. How did it get there, Mr. Producer? How did this nuclear stuff get in my spaghetti? And Putin, not me. I had nothing to do with it. Well, it's Russian nuclear. Well, we had nothing to do with it. It's the British. We didn't do it. They put the stuff in the spaghetti. All right, I'll be right back. Tell me, Trey Gowdy, have you ever used your private email for government business? To communicate with lobbyists? Or you ever used your private email? Curious. Now, here's the funny thing, ladies and gentlemen. The Freedom of Information Act does not apply to members of Congress. Oh, no, they exempted themselves. Wouldn't we have a field day? Can you imagine if the Freedom of Information Act applied to members of Congress, what we would find? I think you'd find some of them are drunks, some of them are having affairs, some of them are covering up their sexual harassment. In other words, we know all these things are going on, but can you imagine the Freedom of Information Act? These sanctimonious hypocrites? You mean to tell me you used your email for government business? Well, I didn't set up a private server. It wasn't classified information. I wasn't deleting stuff. Look, it was a mistake. No, you don't. We need a full-scale investigation here while we control Congress. Will somebody please ask Trey Gowdy if he's ever used a private device for government business? And, well, shouldn't we all ask members of Congress why the Freedom of Information Act doesn't apply to them so we can harass the hell out of them the way they harass the hell out of everybody else? I'm quite serious. Can you imagine a FOIA request for Chuck Schumer and his relationship with Facebook and the fact that his daughter has like a $150,000 job with Facebook? Oh, yeah, you didn't know that, did you? But it doesn't influence his defense of Facebook in any way. No, of course not. That Chuck, he's a stand-up guy. Then we have this guy, Avenatti. Everybody's saying, hey, even though he didn't believe in due process, even though he didn't believe in the presumption of innocence, we should give him due process and the presumption of innocence. What the hell for? Where did this guy come from? All of a sudden, he's all over TV, this slip-and-fall lawyer. He's there with Stormy Daniels. He's famous off of a porn. I won't even say star. Is she a porn star? I don't know if do they have porn star? A porn actress. He looks like the porn guy. Now he's sued by his partner. Media doesn't care. Hey, this guy's stand-up guy. He's going after Trump. He's kicked out of his office, or he's kicked out of his home, whatever. He's kicked out of here and there. Hey, don't worry about it. You wonder where his wife is? She must be proud of her husband. Got all kinds of stuff going on, being a slip-and-fall lawyer and all that. He's on CNN as much as that Jeffrey Toobin, and they're hard to tell apart, those two, by the way. Jeffrey Toobin's the legal analyst on CNN. Every time. Trump's Hitler, he's a racist, Trump is a liar, and let's cut to the chase. He hates black women, and me, on the other hand, I'm an angel, I'm moral, I'm a genius, I'm a legal analyst. You ought to Google his name and see what a sleazeball Jeffrey Toobin is. I dare you to do it. I dare you to do it. So Avenatti, we're all supposed to bend over backwards. The Constitution applies to him. Now, he didn't think it applied to anyone. The Democrats in the Senate didn't think it applied to the nominee, Kavanaugh. It's a job interview. Have you ever been to a job interview where you're accused without a scintilla of evidence of gang rape? It's not even a job interview. Who goes to a job interview? You know what? I hear you were involved in gang rape when you were 16 years old. Every weekend for 10 weeks. What do you have to say about it? What? You have any evidence? Well, Michael Avenatti. He came forward. Well, what's her name? Well, then it must be true. And our free press, Chris Cuomo, the dumbest of the Cuomos, and that's saying something. That's saying something because the governor of New York is a dumb guy. And his little brother, Chris, is even dumber. Which is why he has a 9 p.m. show on the Constipated News Network and has no ratings whatsoever. None. None. That he likes this guy Avenatti. And then, Anderson Cooper. Now, there's a reporter. Anderson Cooper, what is it, 360, 380, 912, or whatever the show is. I don't even understand nobody understands it. So there he is, another one with no ratings. Avenatti's on there. Does a great interview with Stormy Daniels and Avenatti. So CNN, free press, really embracing the porn star and the porn star's lawyer. Doesn't matter how sleazy they are. Doesn't matter this lawyer's background. Anything to attack Trump. That Trump, he's sleazy. But I want to introduce Stormy Daniels and her sleazy lawyer. And then all of a sudden they don't show up. What happened to Avenatti? Well, he was arrested he was accused of a felony, beating up a woman. My goodness. Well, due process applies to him, and the presumption of innocence applies to him. I mean, after all, it's not a job interview or anything. It's not a congressional hearing. The guy's a punk. He's a sleazeball. And the media made him, and the media put him out there. Why? Because they'll grab anyone and anything to try and take down this president. By the way, where's Trey Gowdy? Is he around? I'm just curious. I'll be right back.